All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to do something a little different. Instead of talking about the presidential race, we're going to talk about the upcoming Senate elections. Now, as you can see here, I um, have all the solid states already colored in. Don't really think there's a need to talk about them. We all kind of know which way they're going to turn, regardless of if there's some kind of massive red or blue wave. Unlikely any of these states flip. The only state you can maybe make a case for is Minnesota. But with Amy Klobuchar on the ballot, I can't even in some kind of mass red wave. I still think that she would hang on by a solid margin, regardless. So I'm just going to talk about a few states here, maybe about three states, and probably make about three states a video. So I guess first we'll start with the state of Maryland. Uh, Many people may think that's going to be a solid state, and it normally is. The only reason that I don't have it solid is because of former Governor Larry Hogan running in that state. We take a look here. Just take a look here. So he's running against Angela Also Brooks. She is the favorite. Absolutely, most different kind of outlets kind of have this as a lean race, likely race, and I agree, and I can dive into why. So if we look, so that's the primary. We scroll down and look at polling. Now, lately, she has taken quite an advantage over Hogan in the polling, up 8 points, up 11 points. But my main reason for not making this a solid state is you can't ignore this. Uh, salt a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I don't see how you can ignore this. I mean, Hogan was polling almost 20 points ahead of her in some of these polls. And I know that was before the primary elections were held, and obviously we've seen the polls completely shift in the opposite direction. But I just don't see how you can ignore all that and say that this is still a solid race. It's when I don't believe it today. So that's the first state on here. We will cross off. I will give this as a likely D. All right, going into our next state. I was gonna do Florida in this one, but they haven't held their primary elections yet, so I don't think that's fair to do that. So we'll head over to Texas instead. So in that state we have incumbent Senator Ted Cruz. He's seeking, I believe this would be his third term. Yes, he's seeking his third term. First elected in 2012. We know the reason, again, I don't have this as solid is see how much the margins have kind of shifted him over 6 years. You see here in 2012, he won by over 16 points. And then 2018, that was kind of that blue wavy year. Uh, Beto O'Rourke, I mean, almost took him out, came within 2 points of taking him out. So now we kind of have a similar candidate in Colin Allred, representative of the state, big name recognition, well liked. Um, is that going to be enough to take him over the edge? Even with probably not, especially with Donald Trump on the ballot. I just don't see this being the year Texas goes blue. Look at the money. Ted Cruz has raised about $20 million more than Allred so far. And then polling, I mean, Cruz has not trailed in a single poll yet. So with all that information at hand, I feel pretty comfortable to give this as a likely red for now. That could change though over the coming time, seeing where polling goes. But that's what we're going to give it at for now. Um, and then the last state I want to talk about for this video is the New Mexico race. A lot of people would say that should be solid. I don't think so. I think the state is slightly shifting to the right. Um, Donald Trump's favorability in that state is going up. I think it's possible that the Republican candidate could make it interesting. Her name is Nella Dominic. Let me pull up that race right now. There isn't a ton of polling out of that state, but Martin Heinrich has been in office for seeking his third term. We saw him win by a comfortable margin 6 years ago. However, a lot of that was because of Libertarian Gary Johnson, former governor of that state, taking up a pretty large chunk of the vote. Don't even give her a picture, unfortunately, but let's go on to some of the polling I'll show you. So a lot of the which I find this interesting. A lot of the analysts have this rated as a solid D, safe D state. But you look at the polling, I don't think so. You have he's up 6 points, 6 points, 5 points, 7 points, 3 points. You got that one outlier on the bottom, but this could absolutely be under 10 points, this race. It really kind of depends on what happens at the presidential race, too. I don't think there'll be too much split ticket voting in this particular state. I think it'll kind of align with whatever the presidential race goes, which it's pretty unlikely Donald Trump wins the state. But he did say he's going to make a play there, so that if he funnels in enough money there, that could help Nella make it an interesting race. Probably not enough to make it under 5 points, so that to me makes me feel comfortable enough to keep it at likely. So that's the state of the union we're at now, 49 to 43. I'll make another video probably tomorrow, and we'll keep updating as we go, and I'll keep updating even after I complete it, depending on what polls are at. Thanks, guys.